I saw this palette on Angelica Ninquist's YouTube channel, her top 3 in different eyeshadow categories. I thought to myself, I want to do that too. So buckle up, Joey, because we have a lot of palettes to talk about. So just in general, I do have, as of right now, 120 eyeshadow palettes. Is this too much? Probably. Do I care? No, because I just have so much fun with the palettes. And by the end of the year, I want to rank every single eyeshadow palette that I own. And I can promise you will not stay at 120, because when you see this video, I already have all of the new Nomad Cosmetics palettes. So don't judge me, just don't. Let's start with the first question. Top 3 neutral palettes, and that was surprisingly easy. So let's start with a small one, and I think this is no surprise to nobody because I have talked about Lisa Eldridge Vega palette so often you probably want to throw up at this point. I love this little tiny neutral bitch so much that this is going to be mentioned in another question in this video too. When I did my ABH brand review video, I will link that somewhere here, I was reminded of how much I love rose metals. And this is this grungy, warm, fire take on a neutral palette. I love that. After I filmed that video, the day after that, I actually used rose metals right away because I just wanted to create a look with these beautiful shades. You can go very, very deep, but you can also stay a bit lighter when you mix in ashes or rose quartz in a lot of these shades. Just stunning. And if you have been here for a while, this is probably no surprise either. The Viseart Grande Pro 1X, like, how can this not be one of my top 3 neutral favorites? Like, look at this. Look at it. Dude. Take your time, I'll wait. Even though I would never ever create standalone looks with this, this is a staple in my collection. I don't want to miss this palette anymore. It has my heart and it will forever stay there. Now we have top 3 rainbow or colorful. And the first palette that came to my mind was a Lethal Cosmetics palette that I designed myself because I decided that I want to do in this palette only multi-chromes. Look at it. Again, take your time. This is such a beautiful palette and everything about these shades makes me so happy. By the way, the eye looks that I'm wearing today is full Lethal Cosmetics because I just did these 2 eye looks for my Lethal Cosmetics brand review that has already gone up. Again, I link that somewhere. I'm just so tired of saying this every time because, I mean, you're not dumb. You know that I link it. The second palette that came to my mind is a newer one in my collection from a brand that I discovered this year. Gloss Gods Cosmetics, the Swedish indie brand that we all dream of, came out with a palette that is just literally, she's playing with us. Like, how can you not love this palette? And as far as I know, this is actually definitely discontinued. This was limited edition. There was a second palette in this collection that was called Lavender Skies. That got 2 smaller restocks, but the color of rain is gone. And I feel very sad for you if you did not catch this. And the last colorful palette it just needs a spot here. Adept Cosmetics Seahorse is such a wonderful multi-chrome beautiful palette, and because these multi-chromes are pastel, they are not too punchy. You know, with the Color of Rain palette, they are all very intense. Lethal Cosmetics is very intense. This is more a soft take on these multi-chromes, and I just truly love this. I never ever want to miss this specific palette in my collection. If you have not grabbed it yet, do it. Do the investment. You will be very, very happy. Top 3 monochromatic, and the first one, is it cheating? But I think rose quartz is very, very monochromatic. And even though upon first glance, when we open this palette, it doesn't look so, but let's be honest. Precious, Mantra, and even Radiate, Aura, and Gratitude, they all go on in a certain way pink, mauvey. To me, this palette does not look monochromatic, but every single eye look that I can create with this turns out to be monochromatic, and this, to this day, is my favorite Huda Beauty palette. Nothing can ever top this. Not even the Pretty Grunge that will be released for fall. If you watch me for quite a while, you know what monochromatic Natasha Denona palette has my heart. And this palette nearly got the top spot in my Natasha Denona ranking. The retro palette. I mean, if this is not the definition of a monochromatic beauty, then what the fuck could it be? I don't even know what to say about this palette because I think I said everything already. And this is the only palette. I still don't like her cream to powder shades, and I think 3 are in here. Yeah, Andy, Go-Go, and Rebellion. Oh, Vivienne too. So 4 cream to powder shades, even though I don't like them in this palette too. These are the only cream to powder shades I can make work. They kind of function in this context, while in the other palettes with the cream to powder shades, I just can't use them. And the last monochromatic palette, I just have to. Beauty Bay Fury 2.0. This could slightly be because I'm currently very obsessing over red eyeshadow, and the name already says it, but this is a monochromatic orange-red dream, and this palette was used to create this eye look. And this was the only eye look I have ever done so far in my life that made people talk about it. They were commenting on this look because this was made with this palette, but I also used a specific glitter that I will talk about in the last question. But if you still think about, oh, is Beauty Bay good? It is good. Just do it. And you know what? Even if you don't like this specific formula, because there's a bit special, it doesn't matter because they are so affordable that even if you don't like it, it's not like you're wasting €150. I think these big 42 pans, without the sale, they retail for €28, I think. Like, what is €28 for this big motherfucker? It's like nothing. Top 3, small or mini. Let's get it out of the way. Lisa Aldridge Vega. Talked about that already. I'm sorry. Lisa Aldridge Sorcery. And the thing with Sorcery is, this is so beautiful that I'm afraid to use it. Vega, the Grace, I can replace. I can probably even replace these shades. But there is something to these specific shades that make them super special. And I still hope that Lisa Aldridge is going to restock these palettes and the others because I want to have Myth. I want to have the Myth palette. If you have it and you want to gift it to me, let me know. I don't know how to wink, by the way. And the last one, no surprise probably, the Blend Bunny Trove Quad. This is just the best multi-chrome formula ever. This is such a wonderful selection of 4 intense, beautiful multi-chromes, and I cannot wait for Blend Bunny to come out with more. Top 3, Affordable or Drugstore. I don't technically have Drugstore, but I do have affordable eyeshadows. And the first is again a self-built palette, and this is from Glam Shop PL. If you don't know what they are, where have you been? Because they offer the most amazing multi-chromes. The formula, to be honest, is not my favorite. Like, it's like Adept Cosmetics Minka, those flaky metal shades, flaky multi-chromes, but a bit worse than that. But you know what? I can actually see past that because of these shades. The outcome on the eye is so incredibly intense. When I used this the first time, I literally dropped poop. It straight fell down because look at this. In general, when it comes to affordable eyeshadow palettes, of course, Beauty Bay. I showed you already Fury, so I thought for this question, I show you the Berries palette, because if you love purple eyeshadow and pink eyeshadow, I haven't used this palette, to be honest. It's just an example because Beauty Bay shadows in general are super affordable, but I will use this. When you see this video, I will have used this already. I just love the formula. And I mean, this color story is so beautiful. My brain is just, it's opting out now. And the third affordable eyeshadow palette I want to talk about is a brand that nobody really talks about. And I truly do not understand why, because the eyeshadow quality in this brand is very hit or miss, yes, but this specific line of palettes that they have is hit after hit after hit after hit. I'm talking about Be Perfect and in specific their Carnival line. This is a collaboration that they have with the MUA Stacey Marie, and this is now Carnival 5. I also have Carnival 4, I showed that in another video, so I thought let's today show Carnival 5 because this is a space inspired take on a rainbow palette. You have your typical rainbow shades, but then you have this 15 shades of gray. That was funny. Do you just see how many possibilities you have? And these shimmers, Orbit, Milky Way, they have a gritty glitter texture, but it's so beautiful, holographic looking. I want to lick this. And that's all I have to say about this. Last question is top 3 luxurious high-end, and of course I have to mention my favorite Natasha Denona palette. That is my dream palette. Still to this day, I do not regret that I ranked this as the best Natasha Denona palette, and even with the addition of the I Need a Nude palette, this still is number 1. And the other 2 palettes are glitter palettes. I have to, I just have to. Lemonhead LA Space Case Pro, this retails for around 240 euros, so this is motherfucking expensive, but you get 24 beautiful glitter eyeshadows. And remember this look here? This is done with the Beauty Bay Fury 2.0 and the, what's it called? The Roosevelt glitter from this palette. And the other glitter palette that I want to mention is the Diamond Skin palette from the brand Slayfire Cosmetics. These are very different in texture, very different in like base and how they work on the skin, but they're not less beautiful. I will put down the categories in the info box besides the links to my TikTok, Instagram, and to where you can buy me a slice of pizza to support this channel. I would love to have you here forever, so subscribe. It's free. We are a cool family and we are very sarcastic and do fun shit over here. And as I said, I put down the categories in the info box, so please answer these questions with your palettes or maybe do a video on your own and tag me or whatsoever. I would love to see that, and I would love to read what your different favorites in each of these categories is. So for all the new subscribers and all the subscribers who are already here, say it with me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.